Hey guys, Fireblade here, and welcome to another installment of What If Yang is a Saiyan. This is my third time recording this. But I just got through watching Volume 1, the entirety of it, and I gotta say, not that much would change. If anything, it's just probably like two things that would change. So, to make this video a little bit longer, I think I would implement what would happen in pre-Volume 2. As well as give more details on what happened in pre-volume 1, just to make it a little bit longer. Anyway, pre-volume 1. When Summer is killed by Yang, Yang doesn't get the Summer Maiden's power. In fact, Summer was trained from both Raven and Ozpin to think about someone else when she's being killed. So if she gets attacked by a killer, that killer doesn't get her maiden power. So it's more of a safety precaution that Ozpin implemented, while Raven just agreed to do that just so she can spend more time with Summer. Raven, she still hanged out with her team a bit. Granted, she didn't really listen to Ozpin because after she found out more about that information, she doesn't trust Ozpin. She didn't really trust Ozpin, but she still hanged out with her teammates. Because, especially Summer, because like I said, Raven had a crush on Summer. Anyways, I said Yang will be stronger. Not only would Yang be stronger, so would RWBY as well. Yang would be sparring with RWBY a lot more. So RWBY would have more experience with hand-to-hand combat, and I think she would have more of a idea how to do hand-to-hand combat. She doesn't like to do hand-to-hand combat, so she just doesn't want to use it because she loves her crescent robes. Yang, however, her training will be more deadly, basically, going out into the woods to fight Grimm, stuff like that. Even getting to the point where she would almost get herself killed. And granted, she would get Zenkai boost after she recovers. But because of this, Yang also, because of the interference from RWBY, from Tai, and from Gage and Crow, because of that, Yang would actually end up developing the ability to sense energy. And granted, Yang hasn't mastered it yet. In Volume 1, she hasn't mastered it yet. So, we're going to Volume 1 now. So, when Yang first introducing RWBY to Blake, Yang notices that Blake's ki is different. It's different than everyone else. Yang hasn't really interacted too much with Faunus, so she doesn't really deduce what ki is human or what ki is Faunus. And again, Yang hasn't mastered sensing ki yet, so she doesn't know it completely, anyways. But Yang ignores the odd energy that Blake is giving. However, during the initiation, Yang also senses that energy, and just like before, Yang deduces that must have been Blake, because that's the only person Yang knows who has that energy. Yang's about to call out to Blake, but she actually gets kind of attacked by Grimm. Yang dodges at the last minute, and just like in the anime, just plays with him until one cuts her hair, and she just proceeds to wreck it, even a bit more brutally, basically. During the fight with the Nevermore, it would still play out the same, except Yang, I think, would actually kick the Nevermore into the cliff. It was just kind of indented into the cliff. But once it breaks free, Weiss does still do what happens in the anime. At the end of Volume, when they're trying to find Blake, Yang still hasn't completely mastered it yet. Yang has noticed, can't deduce the difference between a Faunus key signal and a human's key signal. Yang can't use her sensing ability to its maximum, so she can't find Blake. Yang, however, has, during the fight that Blake had, Yang can sense the energy that is being used. and that it's around the same time the explosion happens as well. No. When Yang tries to focus on that energy, she can deduce that there's multiple people there. Yang's primary focus is on Blake, and she can pick out Blake from everyone else there because she's with Blake the longest. So that would just be it for Volume 1. Like I said, not that much was changed in the Volume 1. For Volume 2, however, I think I would go a little bit more. I think I would go a little ham on this one. During their team's quote slumber party, I think Barbara or Lindsay actually said they think that what would happen in between Volume 1 and 2. During their team slumber party, Blake and Yang actually hears something that sounds like a hypnotic spell or something like that. That sounds like somebody's trying to hypnotize someone else. This sound is coming from Atlas military. Blake can barely hear it, however Yang, she can hear it clear as day. Now the Atlas military, they have Yang's Saiyan pod when she arrived. Team Stark gave that pod to Ozpin, who Ozpin gave it to General Ironwood, who gave it to his scientists and stuff like that. They're trying to get used to the advanced technology that this thing has. They're so surprised by it. In fact, they're just so surprised by it that they overlooked some of the simplest things that is in this Saiyan pod, like a simple play button or like a simple wave file. They do open up the wave file and they get just a standard, parent's message to Yang, but they don't know who this person is that they're calling. So they just kind of ignore it. They play another file, and that's the file that both Blake and Yang hears. And this file is the ship recording, which says, "Wake up, Celeste. Destroy all life forms." It's the same chant that Gohan hears in the filler for Dragon Ball Z. Now Celeste is Yang's Saiyan name. Celeste is a play on celery and celestial, because Yang Xiaolong means sunny little dragon. Something like that anyways. Yang hears this clear as day and she goes kind of insane. And Blake knows that this isn't normally Yang. Blake thinks something is controlling Yang, because Blake can barely hear that chanting as well. It takes Weiss and Pyrrha to hold down Yang for a while, until Atlas let go, stop playing that, because they're kind of getting sick of it. That Yang snapped back to reality, and she notices that her team, they look battered, beaten, like their clothes are a little bit ripped. Team Juniper, they also a little bit beaten as well. Yang is questioning what is happening, not knowing what happened. So they explain what happened to Yang, how she suddenly lost control and stuff like that. And Yang is so confused by this. He's just like, "What? I don't know what happened." And at this point, Nora notices something off about Yang. Yang's tail grew back, and Nora notices it. She goes like, "Yang, you're a faunus?" It just goes. With that, everyone else looks at behind Yang, and Yang also notices that she has a tail. When Yang sees this tail, Yang's like, "I knew it! I knew that tail wasn't a fake." Everyone else is surprised by this. And so is RWBY, because she still believed that story about Yang's tail. Blake was wondering why, like, she didn't say she was a faunus as well, or why she didn't have her tail. Yang didn't know why she doesn't have her tail. Yang's also confused, like, why it grew back and stuff like that. So afterwards, they decide to sleep for the rest of the night, so they can talk about it in the morning. the next day, they talk a bit more, but they can't get. They're all left scratching their head like, how did Yang? Like they're all still scratching their head like, was the Yang a Phonics the entire time? What happened to Yang's tail before? Who cut off Yang's tail? And how did it grow back and stuff like that? They're all scratching their heads like trying to figure out what is going on and stuff like that. So Yang's just like, enough of this, alright? I don't want to talk about this anymore. Can we just drop this for like ever? Something like that. They all agree to it because they know they're not gonna get any answers. So Yang eventually, like Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta, wraps her tail around her hips as a belt, and it works. Everyone else thinks that it's just a new belt that Yang got because they know Yang's kind of, I guess you could say, partier. Everyone deduces Yang's a party person, but Yang is just very playful and stuff like that, very friendly. So yeah, eventually they just go on. Sometimes, heck, even Nora one time was just like trying to get Yang's attention. Like one day Nora just, they just go about the day, and everything else plays out as it would have happened. In fact, I like to think that Nora, like they're all just hanging out in the room. They got a slumber party of all the girls of Team Ruby and Juniper. Nora trying to get Yang's attention, pulls out Yang's tail playfully, but Yang gets paralyzed because all her energy been zapped away because, the squeezing of the tail. After Nora lets go, Yang's like, Nora, don't you ever do that again. Nora's always like, okay, I'm so sorry. Like that. And yeah, just imagine like something like that would happening just during a slumber party. So yeah, I think that what would happen. After that, I think Blake would get more involved with her studies on the White Fang activities, which leads us into Volume 2. So I like to think, and I'm gonna cut it right there because we already covered a bit more information on pre-Volume 1, the very little changes of Volume 1, and what would happen in pre-Volume 2. That was part 2 of What If Yang was a Saiyan, or part 1, however you want to call it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully, Volume 2 and 3, there can be a bit more that happens with Yang, and I can put more. See if there's more changes if Yang was a Saiyan in those 2 volumes. Hope you liked the video. If you did, be sure to click that like and that subscribe button. I would love it more for you guys. And if you want to see more what ifs, be sure to comment down what you want to see for any what ifs. Anyway, Fireblade here, and I will see you later for whatever I make. Bye!